Welcome to the Bad Mom Show, where we flip the script on shame, shed light on what's made you feel invisible, and take your story back. It is time to step into that bold, baddie mom you were created to be. Around here, BAD stands for blessed, already approved of, and divinely designed, because you are not a bad mom. You are a leader. You were chosen for your family on purpose. You are divinely designed and anointed as the heart of your home, and you can confidently own your mantle of leadership as a fiery woman to lead with boldness, not burnout. This is your space to reclaim the parts of your story that have felt like weaknesses and discover they were actually your superpowers all along. It is time to shine as a BAD mom. Are you with me? Let's go. Well, hey there, friend, and welcome back to the Bad Mom Show, where around here you are bad in the best way because you are blessed, already approved of, and divinely designed as the heart of your home. I'm Teresa Todd, your host, and I am so grateful that you are here today. I hope that you're having a beautiful day. The weather here is incredible. I can't wait to get outside, but I knew I had to get this message to you first. I am sitting here about 2 weeks post-op from my surgery. I had a hip replacement, if you haven't been following me on social, but if you do, you've seen, and if you're not, go follow me at the Teresa Todd. And it's just remarkable how much can change in just a couple of weeks. But today's message I am bringing to you is from this experience and some of the things that God has really highlighted to me. And I was thinking about it and I was like, man, I got to share this with my people because I think this is something that we all sort of overlook on our daily basis. We're just so used to, we're on autopilot. We're so used to our schedules and our routines. And when you're in situations like this where you're actually forced out of your routine and you're actually forced to slow down, the thing that we always say we want to do, right? We want to have more downtime. We want to have more ease. We want to have more white space in our calendars, time to be creative and just enjoy our lives and, spend more time outside and with our families. All of that sounds so wonderful, but we don't do it. Why not? Why not until it's forced upon us? And God's really highlighted some things to me in this experience. And one of the first things that I noticed, and I'm just, I'm going on the fly. I've got this message for you today and we're just going into it. But, I was sitting there, there's a lot of time sitting on the couch with my leg up, icing, and then, having to do some movement, but I can't go for a mile-long walk yet. It's like doing these little exercises to try to strengthen the muscles and also loosen the muscles around the joint. And so I've got my PT and I'm doing all my little things. And then it's like, okay, now it's time to ice again. Or you get tired and you need a nap. But so I'm doing all these things. And I was sitting there one day, almost getting irritated, uncomfortable and kind of antsy with the fact that I had to be just taking this downtime and being slow and not being able to do all the things I want to do. And I had this moment where I was like, it's really funny how we want what we don't have. Before surgery and my schedule's like yours, I'm sure, too many things are on the to-do list. I'm trying to pack as much as I can in before carpool. And then I go sit in the car for an hour for carpool. And then you come home and it's just kind of kid chaos. And then it's rushing off to after school activities and homework and dinner and you fall in bed and you do it all over again. And when it's like that, I'm like, oh gosh, all I want is more downtime to just be, to breathe, to go sit outside and enjoy the sun on my face. All the things that I was just saying, more time to read, free reading, or just to not have an agenda in every waking moment. Just to even have an hour a day where I'm I don't have anything to do, and that's cool because we feel it. We're oh yeah, let me go scroll on social media because I have nothing else to do right now. And then there goes an hour when you said you were going to read a book, or on my way to like go sit outside, I'm like, oh, there's a load of laundry. Let me just put that in. Oh, their beds aren't made. Let me straighten those up. Okay, let me just fold that load of laundry. Oh, the floors are so crummy. Let me just sweep those. And then the free time is gone, right? Like, am I the only one here? I don't think so. And then I'm like annoyed with myself that I used up the free time that I did have, and now it's back to whatever was on the schedule. So it's like when the schedule is so busy, I'm just like craving more downtime. And now here I am in this downtime, this forced slowdown. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could like do more. I wish I could like be more productive. And I was like, okay, God, I feel you. I feel you checking me right now, right? Because it's like, I don't understand why it's we can't just be content in one, right? We can't just be content in the season that we're in. There's always this like striving for what's next or thinking, even, hear your kids talk. They're like always talking about like what's happening next weekend or something. And I'm like, can we just be in today? Like, can we just be right here, right now in this moment? But it's always this like, oh, I can't wait till this is over so I can go be whatever in the next thing. Or it's like, thinking back to a time that felt easier and you're like, oh, I wish things were like that again. And it's like, why can't this just be enough? Why can't right now be like, this is great. I wouldn't have chosen this. I would not have forced myself to slow down. But because I'm forced to slow down, I am actually going to enjoy this. Like, can't that be the situation? So, and I even noticed like, even with the slowdown, full confession here. Before I went into surgery, I made a list of things that I could do with my downtime. Productive things I could do with my downtime. Yeah, like read more books, write, obviously prepare for my event because it's coming up in a couple of weeks. So actually the downtime has been really great for that, just to like get all my ducks in a row and, reflect and all the things. And if you want to come, it's May 1st. So I'll link the link to grab your spot there, but don't wait because we're almost there and the seats are filling up. So, and it's a limited size event. So if that speaks to you, go do that right now and then come back to the episode. But yeah, I was like, I'm going to order like pictures to hang and wallpaper. I mean, I was like redecorating the house, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but it's just really good to have awareness that clearly having productive things to do is still very much fueling a part of my sense of value and my sense of worth. So like even putting pressure on myself to rest right. Okay. I'm air quoting right. I was feeling like I know this time is temporary, right? So I'm like, I really do want to just be in it and enjoy it. And obviously I need to do it because I'm healing. So it's this like sort of this balance of, anticipating healing and like getting excited about little milestones. And like today I posted, I was like, I could put on my old socks. Like that was huge for me. But like even just feeling my energy coming back and my body, movement getting easier and, all that stuff is great. That's exactly how it should be. We don't want to stay stuck in like, not, it wasn't sickness, but you don't want to stay stuck in, what's the word I'm looking for? Not disability, but you know what I mean? Like impaired in a state of like having to be resting and healing. Like, yes, we need to give ourselves that time. So I'm happy that things are getting better, but I'm also already like kind of like mourning this slowdown time going away because I know that to-do schedule is waiting for me. I know how busy the days are going to get. And I don't want to go back to that. So I need to take the lessons from this. But I was like, you're not even resting right. Like, again, we put so much pressure on ourselves to do everything, quote, right. Like that I wasn't being productive enough with my downtime by not reading enough, not getting enough done off of that list of things that I made for myself before surgery. Like literally making rest something to be more productive about. It's so silly. But it's this construct in my brain, clearly, and I believe in many of ours, that somehow our worth is valued by how productive we can be in the day, how much I have accomplished in the day. And there's plenty I can do in this restful state, right? But there's also something to be said with just resting. Like God over and over and over again in the Bible says to be still and then know. It's not like, okay, just run yourself in circles, stay on that hamster wheel, and I'll tell you all the secrets. No, it's like you need to get still. You need to slow down. Then I can speak to you. Then you can hear my voice. Then you actually are going to take the right direction instead of trying to control everything ourselves. And then we're chasing our tails and we get nowhere, right? So, yeah. So that was coming to my mind. And honestly, there are things that he's highlighted to me that were really consuming me unnecessarily. Like, I don't know for you, but especially because I'm at home most of the time, you see things around the house. And it's like very hard to let those things go. And I described it a little bit already, but it is a distraction. It's very easy to let the the household chores, duties, whatever you want to call them, consume your day. But then, as you know, it's all waiting for you again the very next day. So it has felt nice to be forced to kind of relinquish some of that control. And guess what? Nothing bad has happened. The floors have been crummy. I don't know why that's my big thing. I can't stand crumbs on the floor. I like to walk around bare feet. I can't stand stepping in crumbs. We are no shoe policy around here. I don't like feeling things on the floor. But I can waste a good hour like sweeping and then mopping and all the things. So that's not been happening. And guess what? It's okay. Their beds have not been made, although they are supposed to make their beds. That's part of their morning routine. And a couple of mornings I've reminded them. But if they don't make their beds, that's also okay. Nothing bad happened. The couches have been a mess. Yeah, I don't know about your kids, but it's like it seems like the minute their body touches the couch, it's like every pillow ends up on the floor. The blankets are like all over the place, always on the floor, always. And normally I'm right behind them, picking everything up after they leave or barking orders like pick up your stuff. Hasn't really been happening as much. And then the laundry. This one did get me the other day. I was like, all right, enough is enough. But my sweet husband has been, tending to everything because I have not been as useful around the house. And I was like, oh yeah, I am folding all this laundry because there was so much clean laundry and I can't stand clean laundry sitting in baskets because then it gets all wrinkly. And so yesterday I did spend like a good hour folding laundry and that felt good to me. That was okay. I'm okay with that. That was productive. But what I've noticed is by like relinquishing some of that control, it's not the end of the world, right? I know it's going to get done. I can put everybody's hands together and make the work light and everybody takes on something, which we often do. But like nothing, it's not a big deal, as much of a big deal as I have made it to be in my mind. And then it gets me, irritable. And then I'm kind of getting frustrated with people because they're leaving their messes around and I'm getting consumed by it. And so God's really highlighting that to me. Like, is it really that important? No, it's really not. So it's nice to kind of say, okay, Lord, there are things that I have made like my responsibility and like just more significant than they really are. So that was a really nice thing that he's highlighted for me. But yeah, it's this internal wrestling of like wanting to enjoy the quiet, wanting to enjoy the solitude and the slowing down, but then that familiar call back to busy and productivity. It's just an awareness thing that he's highlighted for me, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing to have that reflection. But I know you guys can relate to this. This is totally not just me. The other night, I was putting my kids to bed and saying goodnight to them. And my son was like, Mom, this is so awesome. You're moving around again. You're waking up earlier again. It's like, Mommy's better. And I was like, yeah, buddy, you're right. And I was about to 100% agree with him. And I was like, but, I'm actually still very much in recovery mode. Like today is 2 weeks post-op. Now, granted, when you see me on the outside, you would not think that I just had a major surgery 2 weeks ago because I'm walking without assistance. I call it, Frankenstein walking. Okay. I don't feel like I'm not walking completely normally, but I'm walking without using a cane or a walker or anything like that. Praise the Lord. And I'm a younger person to have that surgery. So I'm bouncing back faster. And yes, my energy is coming back and like, not sleeping as much because healing is happening, but like rest is not as crucial during the day. And so it's good. Those things are great. But just because we don't see what's happening on the outside doesn't mean that there's not still very valuable rest required on the inside. My, I'm not going to get into the gory details of things, but like there's bone stuff, there's muscle and tissue things, there's your skin, like all of those things take weeks, weeks to heal. And there's good reason for rest. So even though the work is happening, we can't see it happening, right? Happening internally. Hey friend, I am so excited to share this with you. I am hosting my event, Awaken the Heart of Your Home, a spring session on Friday, May 1st here in Tampa, Florida. This gathering is something I wish I had years ago. It is a space where we can come together as women, as moms, and slow down. We get to leave the busy schedule at the door and truly create the space to get honest with ourselves and with God about where we're at in our season, what our dreams are, and what's getting in the way of us fulfilling them. This is your opportunity to be real, to hear from God in a personal way, and to walk away with greater clarity, conviction, connection with other like-minded women, and a bolder belief in your calling and purpose as a leader in your home. You carry a divine calling, and you were chosen for such a time as this. But the world keeps us busy and distracted, and we have lost sight of that authority. This is your time to reclaim it. We do this work together because we were created for connection, and we heal in connection. I kept it intimate though, so space is limited. If this speaks to you at all, I would love for you to reach out to me and I will share details with you. Again, it's happening on Friday, May 1st with a welcome and worship the night prior, and it will most definitely change you. There is no way you will leave that room the same. I hope to see you there. I can't wait. That work is still productive. It can't be rushed. Like if I were to rush this, I would hurt myself and then I'd put myself in a worse position. How often do we do that? We rush through things, rush through seasons because we just want to get it over with. And we strive and we stress and we put on pressure, more and more pressure on ourselves to do more, get it done faster, harder, push, push, push. And then we break or it doesn't turn out the way we want it to because we rushed the process. Right? So right now, the most productive thing I can do is rest and heal. It's what's happening underneath the surface. And I don't know why we feel guilty about letting ourselves slow down and rest. Well, I mean, I do. Look at the society we live in, right? The world we live in right now is completely overwhelmed with distractions and things you could do. Where we celebrate multitasking and busyness and productivity through accolades and achievements and doing more is opportunities to compare ourselves and feel bad about ourselves around every single corner. But again, that's not what God says. God says rest is good. God actually created a full day of rest for us. And I guarantee most of us don't actually rest on Sunday. That's like prep for the weekday, right? But rest is productive. It's very, very productive. It's like when you think about wintertime. I know many of you, came out of a really tough winter. I know. I'm sorry. I still have family in the Northeast. But I'm pretty sure by now that the weather has gotten nicer. But it was a long, hard, cold, gray winter. And people, I understand why you're like, when is this ending? This is too much. It's too long. But everything, it feels very slow. Everything looks dead. And you're like, just hurry up already. It's like this anxiousness, like get to spring, just get to spring. But in winter, there is a lot of productivity happening under the surface, under the snow, under that hard dirt that you can't see. The trees look bare, but they've gone dormant. They've pulled all their energy in to preserve and nurture what's happening, the growth that's happening inside. The seeds that you've planted in your summer season are burying deep into the soil to bear good roots. If they don't have good roots and you rush the season, what happens when spring comes too soon? Things die, right? They can't survive. So we need these slower seasons. We need that time where it looks like nothing really is happening on the outside. And you might be feeling like that in your life right now. Like, man, I just feel invisible in my life. I feel like I don't matter. I feel like nobody sees me. I feel like my efforts go unnoticed. Like, when is it my time, right? Maybe you are in a winter season where the work that you're doing, the seeds that you're planting, especially in your home with your children, when you have little ones, I know how that is. It feels so isolating and it feels fruitless, really, and just so many mundane tasks. And you're like, what is the point of all this? Who am I anymore? There's real growth happening. You're planting good seed, not just in your kids and your family, but there's growth happening in you. God has lessons for you in all of that. There might be some refining happening, right? He might be breaking some things off of you. He might be highlighting some ways that he wants to mature and grow you in the slowness, in that quiet place, in the stillness. If we would slow down long enough and not resist it and not rush it and not feel bad about it, want to get it over with, but say like, yeah, okay, I'm going to embrace this slow season and the productivity and the growth that can come out of it. I know I mentioned the baby season, toddler season, tweens, teens. I hear so many moms being like, oh, I can't wait to get this over with. I can't wait to get this over with. And I confess, I know I've said that myself too, but again, it was just highlighted to me like, man, you don't get this back. You have this small window with your kids in the season that they're in. And like my kids right now are in a season where I'm like, please slow down. It is happening way too fast. I wish we could go back to the toddler years. Like it was just so cute and adorable. And they're getting big quickly. And I'm not ready for that. Like I don't want to rush time at all. And so I'm like clinging on to the moments. I'm so grateful for these moments with them. But it's hard knowing that like I can't stop the growth. They're not mine to hold on to, right? I have to one day let them go. But I can enjoy the moments that feel hard or slow or seasons of their maturing that feel harder than others. There's growth in that, not only for them, but for you, right? So it's this why behind our need to stay busy and productive that really has been highlighted to me, and just the productivity of slowing down. Okay, so I want to share a few things that I have found in this downtime, this quiet time where I've nothing to add, really. I come to God with nothing to add, nothing to prove, but just I am here. I am here to be with him. So I have spent a lot more time with God, which I was craving before when I was so super busy. I'm like, I got to get my quiet time. I got to get my quiet time. I'm not forcing myself to get up at 5 a.m. right now. I'm still letting my body wake up when it wants to, but I am getting in my quiet time. It might be at like 10 a.m., but I'm getting my quiet time in, and I've been reading. I'm in the Bible longer. I'm journaling. I'm hearing God. I'm letting him speak to me instead of me just speaking to him, telling him everything I need, right? Having that relationship. I just mentioned letting myself sleep until my body wakes up on its own. That is huge. Sleep is so underrated. I know we all say we need more sleep, but getting real sleep, like closer to 8 hours of sleep, is so good for your body. And, obviously healing from a major surgery, your body is like, I am taking a nap, I am taking rest, I need it. And you can feel like restored afterwards. But just on a daily basis for, your emotional health, for your brain health, for your immune system, for anti-aging, for metabolism, all of it. Sleep is so, so crucial. Reading books. I haven't like gone through the entire stack. I'm on like one or two books one book I was already in the middle of, and I'm like, I'm going to finish that one. And then another book I started reading because it's called Silence and Solitude. And a friend brought it to me. She's so sweet. And this book jumped out at me because God, before the surgery, was really emphasizing this need to get still, to really start practicing solitude and quietness, like silence, literally, like just coming to him and not speaking, not having an agenda, not worshiping and praising him, but literally just being quiet for a little while, just waiting for him. And whatever happens, happens. Like not feeling bad about how it goes, not being like, that was so productive, just being. And it's so powerful. It really is. It's amazing. And it's a discipline of like returning, like bringing your thoughts back, not letting them wander, but also interesting, where do they go? So highly recommend it if you haven't heard of it. But just really getting excited to be in that quiet space with him. And you know what it's done? I have felt more creative. I've been writing more. I've had great ideas for my event, different ways that I want to shift certain things or incorporate into it. I've been praying more. I mean, I pray a lot, guys. If you know me, I love to pray, but been praying in a different way. Again, I know a lot of times we come to God with our list of things that we need, or even just praising him and worshiping him and thanking him. All of that is so wonderful. But this has been like a trust declaration. Like Lord, I am realizing how not in control I am, and like repenting, forgive me for trying to be in control of everything, and really being like, I trust you, not just saying it, but truly being like, no, I really, really trust you. And that's a tough prayer. I don't know about you, if you've prayed that and like really, you immediately feel like, but do I really trust you? No, yeah, I really trust you. And just like surrendering everything that you know you're holding back from him and just being honest about it. Right. And then just, I literally know I cannot do this all on my own. I need you. And thank you. And that's that too. Just having gratitude for the little things. I mentioned like, I got my own socks on. I was so excited about that because it's hard when you can't reach your foot. And it's been very humbling. I have needed to ask for help so much more than I normally would. And it's okay to ask for help. I've been asking for help without feeling guilty about it. And how humbling it is. And just this beautiful moment of gratitude for like my little baby girl is like helping me put my socks on. She's washing my foot in the shower. Like she's so sweet, you know. My husband, the way he has just been shown up. I mean, it's just incredible. And I feel so grateful to have these wonderful, loving people around me. Friends that have shown up with food or just to hang out and talk and make me feel like less of a hermit, you know? Like there's so many things to be grateful for. And just this realization that like, this is the kind of productivity that sparks real growth. This is when God can really speak to you, highlight things to you like he's done for me. And then you get to decide how you move forward afterwards. And it feels really good. I feel like I've been calmer. I feel like it's been sort of like this big exhale for my body to just be like, oh, it's okay to rest and nothing bad is going to happen. And in fact, really good things are happening. So I pose this question to you. Do you struggle to just rest, to slow down? And if you do, why can't that be enough? Why can't rest, slowing down, not having a million things to do all the time, white space on your calendar, why can't that be enough? It's this tension, and it's like hard to be content where we are, not looking back and not looking forward, wishing for things to be how they were, or wishing for things to be different. It's this anxiousness, this hurriedness, but that's not really productive. Contentment is what God wants for us. And it's not the same as complacency. I think that's what people associate the two with. It's not the same. Content is pure joy and happiness and satisfaction with where you are. But that requires the trust. It requires trust and belief that God actually is in control, that his timing is perfect, that he's ordered my steps, that he won't let me show up too late, that he won't let me miss my moment, that actually the work I'm doing right now matters, especially in my home when nobody sees it. And I feel like it's like Groundhog's Day every day. Hey, I am planting good seed. I'm going to find the things to thank God for, even if they're super little, like the sun on your face and your kids under your roof and being able to put your own socks on. I am so grateful for this slowdown season. I am so grateful. And even though it's a brief time, I get to choose if I'm going to incorporate more of this back into my life once I'm fully functioning and get the green light to go and all the things. But it is a balance of holding them at the same time. Yes, it's good to heal and be energized and take action. And we are co-laborers with Christ. We're not supposed to just like sit around in passivity, right? That's complacency. But to be content, even when things aren't growing fast enough, even things, if you can't see the results fast enough, trusting and believing that in God's timing, everything is perfect and that everything he's planned for you will come to pass because his word does not return void. Having that patient endurance, as it says in Hebrews. Endurance is like you build that. It's a discipline through practicing patience over and over and over again with yourself, not just with everybody else. Now I'm preaching. But it really is a symptom of our humanness, that wanting what we don't have kind of thing. Just quickly in the Bible, here's an example for you. We all have heard the story of Mary and Martha, right? If you haven't, go look it up. But it's basically the story of two sisters are hosting Jesus, and Martha is very busy. She's busy serving and cleaning, and she's getting very frustrated with her sister Mary, who's just sitting at Jesus's feet, listening to him in his stories and his teachings. So she gets mad and she complains, and she's like, "What the heck, Jesus? Mary's not helping. Can you tell her to like get her butt off the ground and help me over here?" And what does he tell her? He said, "Mary has chosen the better thing," because she sat and she listened. She unhurried herself. She spent time in his presence, and she prioritized his presence over her to-do list, over the busyness, over the what externally looks productive. She prioritized what internally and spiritually was much more productive. Because when we're busy, we miss it. We miss it. We cannot hear him when we're so wrapped up in our thoughts and wrapped up in our busy schedules and our days. You know, you go to bed at night not feeling fulfilled. You're like, there's still more to do, and it's never enough. Slow down. Carve out some quiet time. Get still with God. Let him speak to you. Let him direct you. He has answers for the questions you have. He has the guidance. Jesus was never in a rush. He was very intentional about taking breaks to pray and to rest and to go away, to get isolated. He would even leave his disciples and be like, "I'm going to talk to my Father." And so he literally demonstrated it with his life, that we are not sustainable without that kind of active rest. And it does take a lot of surrendering. It does take some honesty and obedience and discipline, patience and trust, big time trust. And if you struggle with that, that's a good thing to bring to God and talk to him about. So that's my message for you today. I hope it spoke to you. I believe it did, because I know this is something that we all wrestle with on a daily basis. So think about your day, even today. Where could you carve out a little bit of quiet time? Still time, and see how it feels. If it feels uncomfortable, okay, why? Get curious about it. And if you're in a slow season and you've been frustrated by it and trying to rush through it or get over it, or maybe you're in a busy season with little ones and you wish it would just hurry up and get over with, how can you find the productivity in that slowness, in that redundancy, in that time that feels very isolating and alone? How is God working in you and around you and through you in the slowness? So I hope you can find some of that time for yourself today. And yeah, if you're really busy, ask yourself why that feels more comfortable. Because there's always a story attached to it. There's always a root. So I'm grateful for this time, and I'm grateful for you. Thanks for listening. I know it kind of went off a bit today, but I think it was really important. So as always, make sure you are subscribed to That Mom Show. New episodes drop every Wednesday. I'd love to hear from you personally. Shoot me a DM at the Teresa Todd. And if this message spoke to you, share it with a friend, right? Share the love. That's how this grows. That's how we grow the community. And we all need to hear it. All right. Until next time, have a great day.